But it was kind of like live streams, like chat and everything, that I kind of got into that, like just talking to people, because it's fun to kind of engage in a chat when you're watching something. It's different to actually watching a video. Like, you feel like you can really get to know some people.
So what about the significance of your name?
I think it's more because I've always I like comics. I've always kind of liked comics, and like everyone kind of seems to have this affiliation with like Harley Quinn, but I actually really kind of do, because one minute I'm like the Harleen version of her, where I could be kind of sensible and intelligent sometimes. I put that in quote commas, sometimes be intelligent. But the other side of me, I'm just a fucker.
I love Harley. I will always love Harley. She came into the executive suite lounge and half server like a whippersnapper. And she was incredible. And I had just gotten my channel terminated, and then I got it reestablished within 30 minutes. So I was in there bitching about it, and she went, "Oh no." And then she says, "I'm in love." And I said, "You are? That's fabulous." And I knew in my gut, I don't know how, but I just knew it was Hat. And no one told me anything. I had never even heard about her. And until that night. And she was full of life and vivaciousness and bubbly and enthusiastic. And Tara, you are still a shining gem, and you are so sorely missed. I want to thank you for touching my life, for the kind words that you always said to me. I now understand why we spoke about certain things in the manners in which we did. And you went through hell as a child, and you have two beautiful children that love you, and parents that love you, and Hat, and so many people that care about you and love you, Tara. I want to shout it out to the world. I think that with all the hell you have been through, it turned you into one of the most compassionate, empathetic souls I've ever met. And I know I always say this, but I can't thank you enough. I'm so grateful and blessed that I had the honor and privilege of meeting you. Of course, not in real life, but those times in voice chat that the three of us had, and then when Logan and Raz came in all together, it just was wonderful. And I cherish those fond memories. I am terrible at speaking. I don't know what more to say except that I love you, and you are a joy. You're still a joy. I know you're watching down on those that you love immensely and care about so much. I know that you were always a live guardian angel, but now you're a real guardian angel. And I thank you. I love you, Harley. I love you with every fiber of my being, every single energy cell that I have. Take care. I can't believe I'm saying take care to Tara when I know she's in a beautiful place. I know. And she deserves every bit of it.
All the time, because of like I would have a lot of surgeries, corrective surgeries, and like recovering from like, because I had spinal cancer as a kid, just put it out there, but like everyone was trying to wrap me in cotton wool, and it was the one thing that would get me from 0 to 100 in a second. I was like, please stop doing that. Like, just stop it. I want to be like my friends, running around like rough and tumbling, etc. You know, I was like, if I hurt myself, I hurt myself. Like, I'm not going to be any more hurt than I've already been. Like, why even bother? So I was very much, if my friends were doing it, I wanted to do it.
Right.
And I felt like I didn't want to get the special kind of treatment, because it was like, I don't deserve it. I've just been sick in hospital. Why do I want special treatment? I was like, it didn't make sense. It's like these little things when you're a kid, they don't compute. You're like, why am I getting given the special treatment? So that's another thing I'm going to be working on, is a kind of passion project, I'd say it is, of mine. It's a handbook that I have had an idea of doing since I was kind of a teenager, where it's a handbook for kids who are about to go into hospital, who can fill it out, see kind of diagrams of what a hospital kind of looks like, just to kind of reduce that anxiety. And then also the contents of the handbook will kind of be an icebreaker for medical professionals and children with parents, so that for any reason, if the parent has to obviously go home or, you know, needs a break, because, you know, parents, you know, hospital is intense, that handbook can offer as a guide to, you know, just help the medical staff, you know, understand the child and what may or may not help, and, you know, be that just in between breaker that will get the child to hopefully reduce the anxiety and the feeling of being scared whilst in hospital, because it's a completely different environment and different kind of things come with it that you wouldn't necessarily understand unless you've been a kid in hospital. So it's kind of a thing that I've always wanted to do, and now I've got a lot of time.
Yeah,
Tara recently recorded me without my consent on Discord.
You knew. I told you. I told you after.
Tara likes to record me when I'm going off on one. Because what was I doing at the time? I was trying to set something up, wasn't I? And when I'm trying to set something up, I don't shut up.
You know what you were doing. You were winding me up with that bloody song.
Oh, yeah, I was playing Pink Fairy. I was going, Pink Fairy, 1, 2, 3. Speaking of which, I need to see if Soundpad comes through.
What is going on?
Well, I don't know,
Jules.
Jules.
I'm gonna upload that one day. I'm gonna do it.
Hey guys, it's
my
your
God.
girl Tammy Sladen.
Tammy.
Okay, lick my
Wow.
forehead for luck.
Ugh.
No, let's not. Shall
Okay.
we? Oh
All
my
I'm gonna
god.
ask is we don't post any beauty pictures on here. I can't stand that bitch.
I don't know. We're
We
not.
can do that. We
No,
can do
no,
that
no.
now.
No,
Ju-
not
Jules.
No.
Jules.
No.
Jules,
No.
why? Why would you open that door? How dare?
I hate.
Yeah.
And you know that's exactly what Alex is gonna do now.
Yep.
I'm
Yeah, you
already
should.
saving the image now.
You brought up the fat, one of the fat bitches, and I
See what you guys did. Now me and Alex can't stop now. Now I gotta put
Yeah.
some on too.
To be honest, though, I wish Shani had a forehead like Tammy.
Well, she's
Oh.
Oh
gonna.
my gosh, I
Oh
love it.
no,
She's balding.
Sweaty.
Alex.
What happened?
No,
Who died?
your picture died.
Look, you either
got
give me free reign, right, or I start getting worse.
Oh my God, Driss, I love that.
Yeah, drag wax right there.
That was drag on stream the other day.
Snorlax. You put a pillow in there.
I know, right?
Well done.
One more time. Oh.
First things first, I want to tell you happy birthday because I know you can hear me and I know you see everything that's going on and I know that you prearranged some things and you did a good job. I want you to know that. It'd be nice if you could come out here and pull some weeds for me since I think travel might be a little easier for you. But I wanted to tell you happy birthday and I want you to know that there's not very many days that go by that I don't think of you. And you always bring a smile and a tear to my eye. Because I miss you. I miss talking to you. And, you know, I want you to know something. I want your daughters to know something. That you taught an old woman something. You know, you taught me that. And it's too late. I can't change it now. But I realized sometimes you were so sick and like you'd be in the hospital. And you would be checking on me. And then, you know, and it was just, you know, and I didn't even... I wish I would have just shut up a minute and let you talk a little bit. You know, I'm working on that. I want you to know that. And I want you to know that you helped me so much. You know, you got me through some pretty difficult time, and I still count on you now. But I want your daughters to know what a special person you are, you know, to make someone that... Listen, when I first... I found Virgie and on Twitch. I think it was Twitch, and I didn't know nothing. You know, I still don't know anything, but you know, you were just so sweet, and you sent me that little message. And after I figured out how to get the message, and I just sitting there, you know, just trying to send a message to you. You knew you was writing so fast, and I'm still slow as a turtle, but. You were just so sweet. And you just talked to me for quite a while until you finally said you had to get some sleep. And it was then that I realized, I think I asked you and you were like, well, you told me you were far away. And I thought, my gosh, she sat here and talked to me and helped me so much. You helped me figure out a lot of stuff that, you know, I needed to do there. And without getting upset or anxious or anything. I mean, you were so patient and kind. And it didn't end. That was what so amazed me about you. It didn't end. You didn't get all cranky the next day or the day after. Or you were still just as sweet and as helpful and as just as spicy as you were. And you taught me so much and you gave me so much strength when I needed it, and I will forever be grateful for that. And I hope your daughters will see one day. I hope I can get my message across that it takes a really good human being to come across the ocean and the miles and touch someone's heart like you did. When you and I would chat, it really felt like we were sitting at the table across from each other, and I really wanted us to be able to do that, and I still do. I do that. I do sit at the table, and I do talk to you, and I come out here and talk to you, and I know you're out here with me sometimes. I could just, you know, I know you got to meet my daughter. I know you're just you're one step ahead, and I'm jealous and I'm happy, but I miss you all, and I wish I could have you all back. But if they ever forget, I hope they can send a message to me or my family, because I promise you they all know who you are. And they can be reminded of who they come from. And they'll find the strength to get through whatever they need to get through because of who you were. And I think that's just a beautiful gift you gave them. It's a beautiful gift you gave all of us.
As if
No one's
anyone
gonna
would do
do
that. Yeah, I know,
It's
right?
tempting.
Well, see, here's the thing. I think people are going to do it, but the question is she going to actually read what they send her?
I
No.
know. Imagine the stuff that we could send her.
I mean,
Like,
Imagine.
no, sorry, I'm not.
I got
doing that.
$2.
so you got to weigh your options. Is it worth it to you?
Oh,
Hey guys, cash
Oh yeah, I
app,
love that picture.
cash app, cash app.
Oh my god, no. That is the stuff of nightmares.
I'm
That's
just
like-
waiting
All I
for.
can do is that.
Is that what
Like
Rob
an-
Nick sees?
Yeah.
Like-
But okay, so can we talk about the Hulk now?
Yeah,
Oh,
go for it.
Yes.
I'm sorry, but the Edward Norton Hulk,
Mhm.
I like the Edward Norton Hulk.
Oh God, see, I knew I liked you.
Wait,
You see-
you said you like more than
Oh no, I don't like the Edward Norton. Do you like the Edward Norton Hulk more than Mark Ruffalo's? You got too much Mark Ruffalo movies.
I know. This is the thing. I love the style of the Edward Norton movie, the comic style where they kept panning back from scene to scene, and the way that he portrayed the actual emotional side of Bruce Banner, and how he was had the difficulties that he was like going through with him, and just every kind of facet it's affected his life, from having to move from place to place because he was being hunted, but then emotionally seeing what that was doing to him, kind of thing. And then on top of that, you know, he can't have an actual relationship with someone else because it comes between it and it ruins it effectively. So
Well, technically, you know that Edward Norton Hulk is Mark Ruffalo's Hulk. It is the same Hulk. That's the same universe. It's just that but it's just that Edward Norton wanted to be a piece of shit, so fuck you, and they went and got another actor. But it's the same exact Hulk. But I like the style of him because I remember with Ang Lee, he was like real puffy, and you know he looked like a wrestler.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
But the one from the one in Incredible Hulk, he literally looked like a beast. Like his muscles weren't puffy; they were all like, you know what I'm saying? He was just ripped, and he looked scary. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he looked like a man. One of my favorite parts is when they're attacked, like they're grabbing Betty, and he's in that thing, and they fill it up with smoke, and he just like punches it open, just jumps down, and everybody's just like, oh my god!
I know, right?
It was so good, man. It was
But
so good.
I also grew up on the old TV series of the Incredible Hulk. Like I grew up with that. Yeah.
Yep.
I grew up with that too. So I watched that, and they didn't have graphics back then. That was all makeup and hairspray, you know.
It was huge.
And they made that amazing.
Yeah.
Like I remember watching that week to week, and I was like, oh my god, like the emotion behind it, and actually seeing the Hulk. Yeah.
Yeah, and the Hulk had his key line, you wouldn't like me when I'm angry? Come on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Did he say that in the Incredible Hulk movie?
Mm-hmm.
Probably did, right?
They
No,
worked
it was
it
like
into
the first two shows. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
they worked it into one scene in one of the MCU movies, and I'm trying to figure out who said it. Oh no, he said it in the Ed Norton one.
Yes.
At the credit scene, the post-credit scene.
Yeah.
Also, if we ever get a Hulk movie,
Mhm.
they didn't kill Abomination. So
No, they didn't.
I'm just saying,
No.
he could come back.
That's what I was sitting here thinking. I was like, the Abomination is still there.
Yeah, they usually
Yeah.
Marvel likes to kill off their villains.
What's
you know,
the name of the first Roth? What's his name? The guy that played Abomination.
Tim Roth.
Tim Roth. He's
yeah.
amazing.
I love Tim Roth.
Yeah.
Oh my god. He was so perfect for that character. Perfect.
I like when he walks up to Hulk, he's like, "That's all you got," and just kicks it.
I know, right?
He kicks him into the tree. Yeah.
Oh my god,
Mhm.
so good, man. And then when they
Yeah.
fight, Like I remember I had played this video game called Hulk Ultimate Destruction. One of the things you could do, you could take a car and he would like break it apart and like punch it on his hands. And when I saw Hulk do that, when like he was getting his ass kicked, he just like ripped that car. He's like, bah, 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 bah. I was like, oh. I was just freaking out while I was watching it, man. And then when he finally said something, he said Hulk smash and then like wrapped that chain around his neck. It was about to rip his head off. I was like, oh, that's my Hulk. That's the Hulk I know. That was a good movie, man. I like
in
that
the first Avengers movie when Captain America looked at Hulk and said, Hulk smash, and he like grinned.
Yeah.
Took off.
Yeah. And he just took off and he just did it. Like
that was good. The only thing I'll say, I didn't really like Ang Lee's Hulk. Some of the scenes were cool, but I like how it showed at that one point where they like were shooting him with that foam that got real hard, and he was getting madder, and he just grew bigger. You know, like I was like, oh, that was kind of cool.
That's cool.
That was cool.
The more you piss him off, the bigger he gets. Yeah.
Strong he is. And then that point when he was like in the desert and he's just running, you could tell he's probably running like 100 miles an hour. He just, and I'm like, whoa, that was cool. But that's probably like the only part I like about that movie.
There are a few other, like, that movie is shot really well. The ending is, I'm like, come on, man, this ain't art school. What are we doing? This is a superhero fight. That was pretty. The ending was super pretty.
Are you talking about the Ang Lee one or
the Ang Lee one?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the ending with the final confrontation. I won't call it a battle because it wasn't one.
Yeah.
But that final confrontation was beautiful. But it sucked because we came to see a Hulk movie.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I didn't like. I don't know. This stuff I didn't like about the movie, but it had some really good scenes. Like when he was fighting those Hulk dogs. Remember?
Yeah.
Oh,
I love the
yeah.
Hulk dog scene.
Oh my god.
That was good.
That was insane.
He took that one's jaws. Was like, I was like,
Yeah, and see, this is the type of shit I'm talking about. Like, yes, stacked up against other comic book movies, Ang Lee's Hulk does not reach the top.
No.
But it's not a terrible movie. There are movies that are way better. There's some watchability to that movie. And we as comic fans, we get so passionate. We're like, oh, this thing committed this ultimate sin. This movie's terrible. But it's not terrible.
No. No.
Yeah, but they did.
Catwoman, however,
that was terrible.
Is as terrible, if not more terrible, than anybody says it is.
So, just for complete transparency, I'm going to state right now that I did not know Tara as well as others. In fact, our interactions were kind of limited to several live streams and a few Twitter DMs. But there are a couple of stories that I want to share, which I really think encapsulates the kind of person that she was. So the first one I want to talk about is when I first started showing up in live streams, specifically Hatman streams, because those were the first that I started showing up on. Now, to begin with, when I clicked onto the chat, I would just type something very generic, like greetings or what's up, something very simple. And every time I did this, Tara was one of the first to come forward and greet me and just welcome me to the stream. Now, I know that's, that doesn't sound like such a big deal. I mean, geez, what the that's nothing. But what you need to keep in mind is that for the most part, I was not familiar with live streams. I didn't know if there was a particular etiquette that was involved or a certain way that I had to behave or anything. So it was just amazing just to show up and not feel judged or, even be ignored. I was always very welcome in the streams. And like I said, Tara was one of the first people to sort of come forward and just sort of welcome me to the streams, which kind of helped contribute to my confidence to chatting more in other live streams. And, that I cannot be more grateful for that. So the other thing I want to talk about is admittedly a bit darker, but I'm not going to go into details because I don't want to deviate from the overall message here. So, to put it simply, there was an individual online who was engaging in some very serious and, quite frankly, not legal activity. I'll just put it like that. Me and a few others did take notice, and we tried our best to catalog information and possibly report this person's activity. And while we were doing that, this person was busy harassing and involving others, including Tara. And Tara actually reached out to me and delivered further information and evidence on this person, which we were then able to forward to police, which eventually led to this person getting arrested. Now, she didn't need to do that. She could have just blocked this person or ignored him or whatever, but she chose to help us in getting this person brought to justice. And again, I cannot be more grateful for that. I mean, she literally helped us bring a not so good person to justice. I mean, need I say more? Now, like I said, I didn't know Tara as well as others, but based on those experiences I just mentioned, I just think it really shows the kind of person she was. And although I didn't get much of a chance to express it at the time, my absolute condolences go out to her family, her friends, and those who were most intimate with her. She is definitely missed. And that's all I've got to say.
Surgery and radiotherapy and some medications got it. But I had to be checked up every like 6 months to a year till I was like 16 to make sure it didn't come back. Yeah.
That's fantastic. Well, it was fantastic it didn't come back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was fun. But it gave me a different view on life. Like, I don't take things for granted.
Okay. I mean, first I want to talk about how she was really important to not only me, well, she is still important to me, but she was really important to my kid too. Like, she literally called my kid her minion. Like, when she would call me, like, she took a good portion just to talk to my kid. And, like, she was all into it. Like, my kid still has the blanket that she sent and some other stuff that she sent her for Christmas. Like, my kid loved her.
I had no idea
And
she sent stuff.
yeah, I mean, it ended up being something other than what it originally was supposed to be. Um, but I mean, she had a plan to send me stuff. I was gonna send her stuff, but that ended up never happening. But I mean, I even had a plan to go and see her. Like, I was literally gonna save up money and go see her. So, and I was gonna bug you and Stu at the same time.
Would have been nice if it was like a big one, like just everyone ended up in the same place.
Right, like, I think that's originally how, like, me, her, and Git had actually gotten together and talked a little bit about it, but at some point, it ended up me and her were, like, really cementing it. Like, I was gonna go and see her. Like, we had a plan going and everything. I was like, "Yeah, I'm down for this," but things happen. It was okay. I mean, I still wanna go out there.
Oh, definitely. It's some parts of England there's more weed than in Amsterdam. It's great.
I mean, hey. I mean, I like a lot of the fashion out there. I like the alternative fashion, so it's whatever. But back on the whole subject. I mean, we talked a lot in like the Discord and stuff like that. We called each other all the time. Like, I don't know. Like, I got really close to her, and I mean, towards the end, I wasn't, but I mean, we had to plan to start like our own YouTube channel. Like I literally made a whole playlist. Like we were gonna do it, but I don't know, something happened. We stopped talking about it, but I imagine it might have been her health. She may have not felt up to it, which I was okay with, but um I mean it was just pretty hard towards the end. I mean, I really wish I gotten to say goodbye to her. I mean, that was one of the hardest things. Like I was really close to her and then bam, I wasn't. But I don't blame her for any of that, but I mean it was hard being told from someone else not knowing what was going on.
There wasn't really a final point with it, was there? She just sort of went into hospital again, and it was just like so many times you just, oh yeah, we're not talking.
Well, I would talk to her. Right, like when she was in the hospital, I would talk to her, like she would call me or whatever while she was sitting in the hospital, but I mean towards the end there, like we didn't talk at all anyways. Unfortunately. So at the end I didn't even know she went in until other people were talking about it. I think it was actually you that might have told me. But she really did hit it off with people really easily, like, and she just had the air about her, like she didn't want anyone to know she was sick, and no one could usually tell. I mean, she kind of took over, like, everything was really busy in the server when she was around, and I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty dead beforehand, so.
It was pretty dead after as well. I remember like she's almost like its mother for a bit, and then after a while it just like it had no mother, so it just sort of shriveled.
True. Like she was kind of the glue that made everyone talk and stuff. I mean, I know I contributed a good bit, but like, I mean, I was pretty silent before she showed up. I mean, I kind of kept everyone in line, but I mean, afterwards, like, we were all talking regularly, whether we're in the mod room or just the female section that he set up for all the girls. But I mean, that's where we mostly talked. Like, even if the server looked dead, like we were always talking in that female section, like the ladies' room or whatever it was called. But I mean, it was really good for a good long while until everything started popping off. But I mean, it was to be expected. But I mean, I mean, everyone has their faults. I mean, I'm not gonna get into those. Like, I have my own and everything. Everybody has them. And I mean, we were really close. Like, I viewed her like family. Like she was a sister of some sorts. Like, she was literally like an aunt, quote unquote, to my child. Like, she was around constantly and like, talking wise. I mean, she obviously wasn't around, but we talked a lot there for a good long while.
I remember saying in like the one that I did, like she was always so eager to help people if they had a problem, like to try and come up with something, and it's very rare that you get someone actually genuinely caring about anybody's problem regardless of how well she knows them.
Oh yeah, like as soon as I met her, as soon as we hit it off, like pretty much instantly, she heard about all the things that my ex-husband was doing and everything like that. She would constantly ask how I was doing, like ask things that he was doing, just to check up on me and stuff like that. Like she cared. Like she was a very caring person. Like she instantly wanted to fix people's problems and work through them. I mean, I am like that pretty much. Like I'm a listener, and I was on her level with that. Like if she had a problem, I was always there. Like as soon as she said, "Hey, I need someone to talk to," I was like, "Okay, let me drop what I'm doing." And like she was the same way. Like I loved it, honestly. Like I mean, she helped me out a lot. Like she was really important to me. I mean, a few people from the server like you were really important to me and stuff like that. Like, it doesn't really happen to me online that much. I don't really like get personal with people, but there's a few people that I had gotten really close to, and she was definitely one of them.
Yeah, there's a strong like click that came from this community. I don't really know what it was. Like I couldn't put my finger on it. It just turned out really well.
I don't know. There was just a few of us that were like, yeah, this is great. Like, like not everybody, honestly. Like there was just some people in the server or the community or whatever that was like, okay, I'll be cordial with them and I won't talk to them very much. But like there was there was a handful of people where I was like, you know, these are my homies, like. So it's really good. Like I like when things like that happen. Like I don't know, like online. I'm just kind of like one of those people that kind of just sits in the background. Like I'm very either way, I'm very opinionated, but like I kind of like came out of my shell a little bit with you guys, and it was really great. I mean, it's still really great. I still talk to some of y'all, but
Yeah, I am glad of that. There's some people who are quite quiet in the beginning who sort of opened up.
I mean, I think I was just quiet at the beginning because I didn't want to step on anyone's toes, like with Irish hating me for absolutely no reason. Like, and at that point, I was in, you know, a really committed relationship, and I was just like, you know, I'm gonna be a good person. Like, I'm not gonna do anything, and then bam, I had on every lady available. And we had good banter going, me and Harley, with that too. Like, I think almost every time we talked, even if we were talking about something serious, we would segue into like us just like playfully hitting on each other, and it was beautiful. I loved it. Like we could always cheer each other up with stupid shit. I really do miss her. Like, I'm really sad about how everything ended up and all that good jazz, but I mean, I still really care about her. I mean, no matter what. Like, she was and is really important to me. It just really sucks. I mean, it was... I mean, I had goals with her. I had all kinds of stuff. Like, I mean, she became like someone that I could talk to, that I could listen to, like I was saying before. Like, and she did that for pretty much anybody. Like, and I felt so bad because she didn't really go into too much. Like, I guess she didn't want to make people feel bad about how bad she was actually doing health-wise. Like, she would talk to me a good bit about it, but like it was like she refused. Like, she didn't want to be a burden on anybody. And I got that. Like, she really just didn't want to be a burden. And I felt bad about that. Like, I felt like if she, you know, if she was really struggling with the bed, she could tell me. Like, I don't know. She just needed someone to talk to.
She didn't really want to make someone feel worse after a conversation. I think that sort of was what she struggled with.
Right. Like, she wanted everyone to see like the happy-go-lucky side and not like the side where she was in pain all the time, or, you know, she was just really struggling. Which I can admire, but at the same time, like, the more you bottle things up, the worse it usually gets. And I know, I mean, health-wise, I wasn't going to do much, but like, it could have lifted a little bit off of her.
Yeah, that's the impression I got as well. Like, she helped a lot of people, but she never let anyone help her as much as she probably could have. I think a lot more people would have been willing than she realized.
Yeah, definitely. Like, if, you know, she would come to me and be like, hey, I'm having a bad day, like, you know. Which, you know, sometimes she did, but not as much as I think she needed to. And I mean, I think that's how it goes too. Like, you know, you have something going on, or like, you know, you feel like you've had it bad for a good portion of your life. Like, you become kind of like a fixer, you know? Like, you don't really see much of worth in yourself, which I really think she didn't. Sometimes the way she would talk to me, she, like, it was like she felt like she wasn't worth it, and she definitely was. She was definitely worth a lot more than she thought she was.
I definitely do think she honestly should have got more than she did, like, just out of everything in life.
Yeah, there's some things that really upset me about certain things. I mean, especially how that really abusive relationship she had. I know she told me a bit about that. I'm not gonna go really into it, but like, you know, to be treated that way when I know that she was a really good person, like, it just sucks. Like, the more she told me about that, the more like it just really upset me. which I related to her on a baser level with that too. Like I could relate to her a lot. Like we really did click, like really really well. I just wish there wasn't anything else in the way that, you know, stopped all that. But I mean, that's a really upsetting point too. Like to be so close to somebody and then all of a sudden not have them around was kind of a shock. And I'm sure it was a shock to her too. Like I just felt bad about the whole thing. But I mean, she's not around now, and I really wish she was. Like, she didn't deserve to have any kind of sicknesses or anything like that. And I think that's one of the really hard parts about someone, you know, having the health issues that she did. Like it really does seem to sometimes take like the best people.
Yeah, and it's never just one thing either. It's just like there's constantly things getting in the way of life.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff left unfinished because they were just always sick at that point.
Yeah, and I mean, without going too much into how it was with at least one of her daughters, I know one of her daughters is probably really struggling right now, and I really feel for her because one of her daughters was really struggling, and she was trying to help her. One of the last times that I talked to her, um, I mean, it was a pretty upsetting situation, and I'm sure her children are really like adjusting hard to this, and I feel like that's the most important people, like, you know, her kids and like immediate family, like those were the really important ones, like, you know, really close like friends that she had, like, you know, around her and stuff like that. Like as bad as I feel, like I imagine that they're just really struggling with it. I really go out to them, you know, emotionally for that whole deal. Like if I could, I wish I could talk to her kids and tell them how much like she told me that
How much?
she loved them.
Yeah, and I am really glad that she somewhat like reconciled as well because I know they had like a bit of a bumpy time before the end, and I'm just sort of glad that it didn't end on a bad note because that probably would have made things a hell of a lot worse.
Yeah. Like I hope that, the people really close to her got to see her and hang out with her too, like before everything happened. Like it's just a really sad situation all around. Like I feel for most of the people that were around her.
Oh, great. Um, I think when I think about Harley, I think she was like, very giving person in her friendships. Like she made time, and I liked that. I appreciated that always. And um let me see. I think there's always one story that stands out about her, and it was when I got really drunk one time. And she actually got on Discord voice to help me get home because I couldn't get my way home because I'd been out drinking with my friend, and it caught up with me really quickly. And I thought, wow, that's, I mean, she also had me in stitches the whole time, because it was pretty funny, her trying to get me home from around the other side in the world and not knowing street names. She was saying, find me a landmark, so we did it that way, which was completely ridiculous, but it worked and I got home. So that's probably my best funniest memory of her, because it kind of encapsulated like how much fun she was and how caring and nice and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I
But
was
yeah.
saying earlier, like there's not really anyone I've met before who's that willing to help someone like that.
Right. Yeah. Like she had time for people, and she was very welcoming too. Like that's something that not a lot of people are that welcoming, like when I kind of got to know you guys, I kind of got to know you guys through her, so that kind of had a snowball effect, kind of. You know, like I don't think I would have met Darkstar had I have not known Harley. Like if you think about it like that, that's kind of massive. Because they knew each other before I knew him, so that's kind of huge.
Right, she brought a lot of people together.
Yeah. I mean, you know, and now there's a guy who lives in a different country married to me who we may not have met otherwise had it not have been indirectly, you know, through her, I suppose. Yeah. So I think, you know, there's probably quite a few people that if they look back on their friendships, they could go, oh, she's actually the connector, which is pretty
Right.
cool. Because I'm not one of those people. Like, I keep to myself and, you know, don't go out of my way to make friends or any of that kind of business. But I think that was something that was really special about her specifically, you know?
And some of my closest friend, my best friend, I've known him since I was 6, and he's still my best friend now.
Yeah, she had like a lot of time and was willing to like talk to almost anyone who turned up, so long as they were like active.
Mm.
It was she was. It was quite unique in a way. Like I've never seen anyone have that much time for other people and be that helpful.
Yeah. I mean, it really is a unique situation. Like, you know, and if you had a problem, she would always be like, you know, do you need to talk about it or whatever? I mean, we were pretty close, like us girls, you know. And I
That's
always
what I was
felt
saying
like, you
earlier.
know, what's that?
Oh, I was saying that's what I was saying earlier. Like even if the server looked dead, we were always talking in the girl section, like the girl channel. Like we were always
Oh,
talking in there.
absolutely. Yep, absolutely. We always were like, you know, and I don't think that where was I going with that? I was just thinking like I don't think I've experienced like that kind of friendship after her in a way. I mean, I, you know, obviously got you guys, but you know, just knowing that there was somebody that, you know, if you were having a shit day, she picked up on it pretty quick.
Yeah.
And she would ask, like, you know, a lot of people they don't inquire about other people. They're like, you know, they just assume that you're okay. But Harley always picked up on things. And she's like, "Are you okay? If you need to talk, I'm here," kind of thing, which I appreciate. You know,
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
and
was
she.
always pretty protective.
Sorry.
No, good.
I was gonna say like she often cared more about your problems than you did in some instances.
right.
Right.
All right, moving on. All right, so what was the first record you owned?
I had a cassette. I didn't have records. I had
Okay.
cassettes.
What was the first
That's really
cassette?
bad.
Yeah.
Oh my god. First cassette. Oh, this is going to be really bad. Like, you just said that, and the first one just sprang in my head. And it's either, I'm going to sound like such a bass when I say this. It was either Ace of Base, or it was, oh my god, what was the band with Justin Timberlake in it?
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Oh god, it was that, or it was the Venga Boys. Because I remember blasting it from my car because it had a cassette tape player.
That's great. That's great. All right,
So it was cool shit. I was like, oh yeah, let's just do that one up.
Yeah. I mean, she really did. She was And she always had great stories too. Do you remember Raz? Like, she always had great stories from when she was young. And I
Yeah.
was always like, wow, you guys really did that.
Yeah, she
And
would talk about something she used to do, and like me and her used to trade stories, and we
Right.
would always like, get a good laugh out of it because she'd say something funny, and then I'd be like, "Oh, well, this is what I did when I was a teenager," and she's like, "Oh," like it
Yeah,
was pretty
yeah.
fun.
It was like two wild girls, and I'd be like, really? How does that work? I actually think it was both of you that described to me how a bong was made.
Yes.
Because I had no clue. I was just like, what?
Yeah,
I
we
don't
were talking
know
about bogs and pipes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I explained to you how you actually like smoke a pipe, like either a tobacco pipe or like a pipe meant for like weed. You were like, how do you even do that? And I was like, okay, this is the mental picture. I'm gonna explain it to you.
Yeah, I was like, well, what does the water do? I don't know how that works. Yeah, no, I get it. And a bucket bong, that was the other one. Like, I mean, I was just waiting for either one of you to sort of break out the drawing and this is how it works, and the water and the airflow, and it was really
Right.
funny.
I think I was the one to explain to you how you turn like a liter bottle into like a something you could smoke out of too. I mean, there's
Right.
all kinds of ways.
Yeah, no. But no, definitely we had some super fun times. Just the best conversation, like funny ones.
Oh yeah.
Legitimately very funny ones, like where I would be in hysterics.
Like that one time that I think it was either just me or me and her that explained what God, what was it, like a Jacob's ladder, the piercing for men, what it
Right.
was in like the main chat, and everyone's like, what the heck? And me and her just like laughing so hard. We're like, yes.
What is a Jacob's ladder? Dare I ask?
I'll show you later.
Okay, gotcha.
Well, like just things like that. And I told a story earlier a little bit about how we in the mod room we made that whole like script for that random porno that we were never gonna do, but we thought it was great that we made it up.
Oh my gosh, my goodness, that random porno.
Yes.
Gosh, yeah.
Like we were all pretty proud of ourselves.
A GoPro the same way. Wasn't there something about it? Something about a church too.
Yes.
That was the one. That was
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was good stuff.
I
We're
mean,
like,
how do
what's
you
the
explain
biggest-
these things to other people? You know what I mean? Who weren't there.
I mean, it's a little hard. Like it's a little hard to go through like every individual thing, especially when it was like personal or it was like inappropriate and stuff like that. It's like you want to tell like so many funny stories and you're like, "Oh, I don't know if that's actually something I could say." Like
Right. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, no, I have so many like hilarious memories of in the girls' room.
Oh yeah,
You
we
know.
talked about
I mean,
everything.
the conversations that we had, they're not repeatable.
No. And we can't even go back to them because they're just all gone, so
Oh
it's
yeah,
a little
that's right.
sad.
Yeah, that is a bit sad.
Like I know there was that one time that you and her were like really engrossed in like this book I was reading, and I was showing you like screenshots or pictures of like what I was reading because it was just so weird. It was like this romance novel, and I just thought this like chapter was really funny. I just had to show you guys, and you guys were like rolling as I'm like sending you
That's right.
screenshots of it, and I'm like, like we had jokes for days about that book.
Oh, we did. And the little in jokes, like the really, we'd find something very funny, and we just constantly, it never stopped. Like we just laughed, I mean, for what, like a year or two straight, like kind of thing,
Yeah. And like we even talked about like really heavy topics or like really personal topics in there, and like we all found a way to like understand each other in a different way. And I mean, we turned it into something funny. Like we would talk about like really bad traumas that we had, and we would turn it into something funny, and like we just start joking with each other.
Oh yeah, we had what is it called, like gallows humor, like really black humor
dark
about
humor.
stuff. Yeah.
Like we all had dark humor in there. We all just utilized it.
yeah, we did, because it's like we really did open up a lot, and it was never weird either too. Like there was never a weird dynamic how it can be sometimes with multiple females.
Right, like sometimes you get females together and they just fight like cats and dogs about the stupidest stuff. And like it wasn't like that. Like even when I showed questionable pictures just because I felt like it like became a big joke with us. Like, oh, we've seen what she looks like. We've seen her body parts, and you guys haven't. Like, y'all suck.
Yeah. I mean, not only did you show us, but it became like quite a mythology. Like people would be like, "Did you really see?" Yeah. We did. Yeah.
And then I'd be like, "I only show the ladies. I'm sorry."
Right. I'm not gonna tell tales, but I know that there's been quite a few interested other parties that have been, curious as to what really got shown in that room.
Yeah.
But girls only. Although we all wanted Curious to be in the girls' room included.
We always used to talk about how we wanted Curious in the girls' room. We're like, he's just like one of the ladies, like let him in. And Hal was always like, no. We wanted Stu in too.
This is true. We really did want you, and we were all unanimous about it.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it was just the three of us and like the main, like the lockdown part of the ladies' room, and then we're like, you know, we want Curious and Stu in here, and he was always so against it, and I'm like, come on.
It's my harem.
Yeah.
I mean, oh no.
He was just jelly.
And the other thing I was thinking about with Harley was how really great she was with things like makeup and the real like kind of girly kind of stuff. She often would show, I think she was a beauty blogger. She told me that once.
Yeah, I did find that blog whilst looking at stuff to see if we could.
I mean, I always had her like send me links for like makeup she thought was cute because she knew my style. She knew what I liked.
Yeah,
and, like,
yeah,
she'd be like,
did.
I was like, she's like, I seen something cute that I think you really like, and I'm like, send it to me.
Yeah. She actually did quite a bit of that. Like, she would go, oh, I think this would look really great on, this would look really great on you, or this would really suit you, and that kind of thing was something that she wanted to share. Like, she would have links and also music too. That was another thing, because my music taste is like polar opposite to you guys, but she would be like, I think maybe you might like this one.
Yeah, we would trade songs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we used to share outfits all through there, like, oh, is this cute? Do you like this? And all kinds of stuff. Like, I would see something really cute that I think you guys would like, or like I'd get y'all's opinion on it, or just things like that.
Excuse me.
There was also that time that for some reason we got onto the conversation in the girls' room about how our different like tastes in dudes. And I was like, mine is so weird. I just started listing like pictures of like different examples, and you guys were like, oh, yours is actually like really broad. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
And then we got onto the conversation for like hours or whatever about like vampires and stuff like that. I don't. It segued us somehow, I think, because like I put in like a picture of Brad Pitt when he was in God, what was it?
Interview with the vampire.
Yeah,
Was he
interview
in
with a vampire.
You're
Yeah.
right.
And we just got into a huge conversation about vampires, and it was great. I loved it.
Yeah. No, it's nice to kind of, talk about her and how things were at that time. It was, it's nice to do that.
Right, and that's why I was saying, like, I know she wouldn't want everyone to be mopey, and like I just try and like
No.
think of the good stuff, like instead of how everything was at the end, or like
Yeah.
and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like I just think about when everything was good and we were all just talking a lot, and
Yeah. I mean, I it's often, life happens and friendships don't always last or whatever, but I mean, and unfortunately tragedies happen and stuff like that, but I mean, thinking about like the good things and the positive times, and I mean, because they're worth something, they mean something, especially when you were very close with somebody, like it's like I can't just pretend that somebody doesn't exist because they're no longer here. Like, you
Right.
still carry around the memories and the,
Those can't be
and they're not.
changed. That's like the nice thing about that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's like, regardless of what happens, the you always have the good stuff to, particularly when you spent as much time as we all spent. I mean,
we spent a lot of time talking.
a lot of time together, like ridiculous amounts of time, like, and like I was thinking about when I mean, that server was, when we were all in it, like it was never quiet.
No.
Ever. Like it never had a, we really all talked constantly.
Yeah, and when rooms got quiet, like we like it's part of what I was saying earlier, like we would all go into the main rooms and start talking, and then Hat would get mad and he would like scrub the whole room. Like we were the naughty children that kept the server going, like.
Yeah, I mean, weren't you and Curious quite renowned for getting room scrubs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Half the time I was like, what the fuck did I do?
Right, like we would just be talking about random stuff, and like all of a sudden the room would be gone. Like I think the fastest me and Curious got locked like a whole like room right was like maybe like what 5 seconds. Like we had literally just started talking.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I'm not kidding you.
That is ridiculous.
I mean, the topic was like jizz on the ceiling, but like we were making it funny. It wasn't in like the main room. I don't think. But we were just joking around. Like he made that awesome picture where it spelled out Raz and jizz on the ceiling.
Oh yeah. Just remember that.
I don't even know what started that. Like literally we just started talking that day, like literally 5 seconds. I'm not kidding. And he's like, bye. I'm like, oh come on.
All the good stuff happened when I was asleep.
I mean, you were part of some really fun stuff too. Like, I
This
mean,
is
mainly we all talked in like the mod room and like the girls' room, because that's where we wouldn't get in trouble. Like, we started getting in trouble so many times that we're like, fine, we'll just go where it's like locked down.
Oh, but even getting into trouble was fun though.
Yes. It was sometimes the best part, like making him all mad. Like, we were the mods that were always getting in trouble.
Yeah.
He was just a killjoy.
Goddamn,
We were
please
funny.
stand by message just pops up. Oh shit.
Ah. Or the room would just disappear on me and I get kicked to like the main room and I'm like, oh, we did it again.
That is very surreal when the room just disappears. It's like it's like, where am I?
What happened to me? Where'd I go?
Whose ass is this?
Ah. Like it was just like a lot of fun times. Like we could literally talk about anything, you know. And it was really fun. Like it was really good. Like and I will say, like, even when she thought I wasn't her friend, like she was still really important to me and I was really worried about her and I was still her friend. Like
Yeah, that never changed. That didn't
Right.
change. Yeah.
And there, like I said earlier, there was a lot of things I was just really mad about that I won't talk about, but there was a lot of things that upset me at that time.
Yeah, I think we're all a little wiser for it, you know.
Yeah.
And I guess that's the thing is, and life goes on, you know. Like I don't think that she would have held anything against, you know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know where I'm going with this, but I think everything would have been okay.
Yeah.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's not important, you know.
Yeah.
And again, I will say, without diving into it and make it to where we can't use it, I wish she was treated better by certain people at the end.
Oh, definitely.
The things I was hearing was bad, so.
Yeah.
She didn't
I
deserve
mean,
any of it.
yeah. Yeah, I think that life is just a messy thing, you know.
Yeah.
That's the best. You know, I'm glad that you know, we could have been a part of her life and we did get to know her, you know. We did spend a lot of time with her and we did get to know her very well and you know, I'm sure she's on the other side having a great time and you know, she doesn't care about you know, that's what I hope. I mean, you know, I hope that that's what, I don't know, I'm not going to get overly philosophical, but I do hope that you know, things, gosh, I'm just not, I didn't wake up that long ago, so I'm quite out of
you're
it,
fine.
but
We won't
And
put
this
you
kind
out.
of topic, yeah, this topic can make someone flustered. Like, I get you. I was kind of flustered earlier. Like,
yeah, why so? Like, just because it's a difficult topic, you know.
yeah.
I think because loss is so kind of unique to everybody, but you know, there's that commonality of like, shit, this is, you know,
And especially
unpleasant.
things you
but
find out afterwards. Yeah. Like,
yeah, it would. I think if we had known we didn't have that much time left with her, things could be different, you know.
yeah, like I was saying, I had a plan to go visit. Like, I wish I could have saved the money and actually gone and done that. I feel like it would have been really uncomfortable in hindsight because things I didn't know. But I really wish I could have gotten to meet her like I planned to.
Yeah, she would have
And that
loved that.
and that her little minion, my daughter could have met her because my daughter loved her. Like,
She really did.
Like it's hard. Like I had so many plans. You know, I look at her presents that I got from her, and
Yeah.
um, like I'll just think about her. Like, you know, I got to wash her blanket that she sent, and you know, I'll just be like, I really miss her. Like, I really do. I miss her.
Yeah, I know. I know you do. Um, she was great with your daughter. Really was, you know, like she cared so much about her, and it wasn't like one of those friendships where, you know, your child is just, you know, an addition. Like she really, really was so interested. What has she
Right.
been doing? Like, how is she? Can I talk to her soon? You know, that kind of thing. Um, you know, and
And
that was
she would,
genuine.
and I would ask about her daughters. Like we would have whole conversations about her daughters. Like, I was saying a little bit ago. Like I really wish I can get in contact with them and let them know for sure, like that they know she loved them. She talked about her
Oh my
daughters
God.
constantly.
Constantly. I mean, they were, I mean, her last Christmas with her daughter, that was everything to her.
Yeah.
Remember how excited she was to
Yeah.
decorate the place and get everything perfect and, you
She
know,
was she was really excited about her prom, one of her daughter's proms. I think it was her oldest. She was really excited about
okay.
that. She would send me pictures of her dress. Like she was so excited for it. She's like, you know, this is a big point in her life, you know. And you know, she was just so excited to be in their lives, to have a part of their lives. And it's just
Yeah, she was. And the thing that I was just thinking about was how she made every occasion really special. Like she went all out. She got presents, and I think she completely decorated the house for, you know, her daughter's Christmas with her. And like every day there was like different pictures of what she was up to and how she was making it special. Like she really went to a lot of like effort.
right.
And you know, that's a great thing. Yeah, I'm just
And sorry.
sorry, no, you're fine. Yeah, I just wish that I had more photos that she'd sent.
Right.
Like
And
you know, I wish that I
again,
would have
you
saved
can't get
some
them.
of those. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean,
Yeah.
it really sucks because like and I had you know, she put together the stacks and everything that she's gonna send everybody. Like I even had like this whole giant like package set up in my wish list, not my wish list, but my like my checkout thing on Amazon, just filled with like different flavors of, you know, goldfish, because she really loved goldfish. Like she told me all the time, she's like, if you could send me anything, I just wish it was goldfish because you can't get them there. And like I had this big thing set up, you know, with her goldfish and her she had these certain lollipops that she really liked. There were the apple ones covered in like caramel, and
Okay.
everything happened and I couldn't even send him. And then, you know, she passed away and I still had him sitting in my checkout. And I don't know, it just really upset me.
Wait,
Like I looked at him and I had to delete him from my checkout. But I just did it recently. Like I still had him like saved for later
dang.
and I had to delete him. I
Oh,
was like, well, I mean, I can't get those for her
yeah.
anymore.
No, that's really sad. Oy.
Yeah, I know it sucked. But no sad, Rita. I can't do that.
Yeah, I was actually watching Suicide Squad the other day because I hadn't seen it. I mean, I know it's been out forever. And
Yeah.
I thought, I'll just watch it. And then when Harley Quinn comes on, I just started thinking of our Harley. And that kind of knocked me a little bit. Like I got quite emotional. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I mean,
get
I
that now.
purposely avoid all that. Sorry. My bad.
Nah, yeah, I get that a lot now. Like whenever anything Harley Quinn related comes up, I'm like, it just where my mind goes. I'm kind of glad, to be honest. It's just added something to the whole, to the character. And
Yeah,
stuff.
it has. Yeah, it really. It's a nice reminder too, you know, like because I'll see something Harley Quinn related, and then I'll kind of think of Harley, and you know, a nice memory or something will kind of come to my brain, and I'll think, oh, yeah, I do, I do miss her, and
Right.
I think that we all do, and I think it's really nice to do something for her birthday, because she was really big on celebrating ours too. Like,
Right. She'd
whenever my
ask for
birthday was,
birthdays.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, like she'd be the first one to remember it. I
Yeah.
barely remembered it, but she'd be like, "Yeah, happy birthday," and I'd be like, "Oh yeah, I've been trying to forget, but thanks." But
Well, you're older.
no, she
Yay.
was huge like that. And
I like that aspect too. Like, she like holidays, birthdays, she was usually the first one to be like, "Hey, how's it going?" So,
yeah, she did. Yeah, yeah.
and on the
And
whole, oh, sorry.
no, you go.
On the whole Harley Quinn thing, since you guys reminded me, that show, that like cartoon show for Harley and like Ivy and stuff like that, where it's like Harley's show.
Uh-huh.
I can't watch that show because I don't know if you guys remember, but she'd always call me Ivy. She was like,
Yeah,
we're Harley and Ivy, and she'd always put guests from that show where it's
yeah, she
it's
did.
like Harley and Ivy hanging out. Like I can't watch
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I think I was Catwoman too. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, that's what we
Yeah, yeah,
decided.
yeah. Yeah. Wow. That's huge. I'd forgotten about that too. So, I mean, that's why it's really nice to jog the memory by remembering all of this stuff.
Yeah, at some point it's gonna turn into like nostalgia, like looking back on it, and it'll all
Yeah,
just be fun stuff. I mean, which I
yeah,
already do that, but
yeah. I mean, I know that I'm feeling quite sad actually. I, you know,
yeah,
didn't quite expect to feel like this right now, but I was just hoping to, remember some fun memories and how things were when they were great, and she was healthy and things were good. But
right.
I'm feeling really, really sad, and I think that that's I think that that's a good thing.
Yeah, I know it probably sounds like dickish or like selfish or whatever, but I feel like me and you, we didn't really have a good outlet because everything that was happening, like we kind of couldn't get closure on the whole thing in a
No, we
sense.
couldn't. Yeah,
Because like we
yeah,
were told by outside sources, Curious being one of them, like we had to be told by
yeah.
someone else, like, and I mean we didn't even talk to her towards the end, which
No, we didn't.
like I was saying earlier, like that actually hurt my feelings way more than I ever told her it did. Like of course I told her like, this whole thing kind of hurt my feelings, but like I was never gonna tell her like how much it actually hurt when she stopped talking to me because I
Yeah.
didn't want her to feel bad.
Finally, all right, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say to you when you arrive at the pearly gates?
I don't think I'd want God to kind of answer me. If my nan was there, I'd be happy. If my nan was there saying hello, that'd be it.
Sha la 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 la. Keep me in your heart for a while. Sha la 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 la. Keep me in your heart